Hi guys, welcome to Switched On, Paul here, and today I'm going to be looking at a new game, MotoGP19. Obviously a sequel to last year, the first game that was released on the Switch last year, MotoGP18, which I thought was pretty good. I'm a big sim racing fan, and yeah, it didn't look the best, especially in handheld, but this immediately is a step up, and been pretty impressed with this so far. I've got a review on the go. Big thanks to the publishers for sending a review copy over. But I thought what I'd do right now is just show you a quick race. Show you how it plays. Now this is obviously docked footage, not handheld. But what I will do in my review is I will be showing some handheld footage off. Because there is a downgrade, and sometimes, you know, if there is that much of a difference, I do like to show the differences in the gameplay types. So there'll be docked and handheld footage. So in this race we're going to be racing as Danilo Petrucci, and on one of my favourite all-time racetracks, Laguna Seca. I was absolutely made up when I was looking through the extra sort of tracks. There's some historical tracks, and Laguna Seca's on there. So this isn't part of the standard MotoGP season, but it is in as an additional track. So as you go into a race, you can now choose from your sessions, just toggle them on and off. So we've got free practice 1 and 2 on the Friday, free practice 3 and 4, 2 qualifying sessions, warm up and a race. So we're just going to go straight into the race. Been playing some career mode as well. That's another step up from last year's version. Really like how that works this year. Excuse me, just grabbing a drink because it's really hot here in the UK today. But yeah, the career mode, you sort of start off, you can start in MotoGP, pick a team, and then you start off in their sort of feeder team in a lower spec bike. You run a test at the start of the season. So it's sort of what's the word? Not a testing session, but whatever. It's like a testing session anyway. You sort of can check out 3 different specs of bike, choose your favourite, and then that becomes your bike for the season. And then as you work through the season, you get points to upgrade your bike and different things like that. So really impressed with that kind of thing. We'll go into that a bit more detail when we look at the review, but yeah, it's a really impressive career mode. It's a game not without problems. There's a few big omissions from the Switch version which people are not going to be happy with. Personally for me, the omission of the new Moto E, the electric bikes, I was really looking forward to giving those a try, but they are just completely missing from the Switch version. Have reached out to the developers and the publishers just to see what's going on there, because the eShop description still says that the game features Moto E, and there's no reference there to it being missing from the Switch version, so that's a bit annoying. And then, as you may have heard, if you've been following this one in the build-up to the game, there's no online multiplayer in the Switch version. Now for me, obviously people are going to be upset with that, but personally for me it's not a big deal. Switch racing games, unfortunately, unless it's Mario Kart, tend to not be very populated anyway, so I'm rather they put the effort into other parts of the game if it means sacrificing online multiplayer. There is online leaderboards, which is quite nice. You can test your top times and stuff. Now one thing you may be noticing here is the graphical quality again isn't great. It doesn't look too bad in racing, but these cutscenes are pretty rough. You can see like that. I wouldn't even like to guess the resolution of the logos and stuff on the racers' overalls. You know, it's just barely legible, which is not good. But as I say, actually racing, it's not. I don't think it's too bad. So let's get into a race anyway. So here's see, it looks much nicer. So clutching, revs up, clutch out, and away we go. Petrucci. You obviously got different views. You can switch to a cockpit view. Oh, sorry. I'm careering into the side of somebody there. I may be a little bit quiet during this because I tend to really need to have to concentrate. But oh my god, I've driven this track so many times in like IndyCar games and other racing games. I just absolutely love this track. Whisper it quietly. But I'm not doing too bad. I'm usually right at the back, so at the moment this isn't too bad. Oh, careering into somebody else. Apologies again. Up the hill, coming up to the corkscrew. Hard on the brakes. Hard on the brakes. Got to stop that bike before the corkscrew. Oh dear, and I'm going to be in problems for that. I've just killed somebody. Sorry, Espargo. You were as slow as a snail though, but anyway, 11th. Take us 11th round the outside. Mia gets back underneath us, and then we get him around the outside, hard on the brakes for this really tight left-hander. Slowest corner on the circuit. And look at that, first lap, we're not last, and I'll tell you, considering I'm commentating as well, I am super pleased with that. Hard on the brakes for this sweeping left-hander. Got in too deep. Can come back in though. Come up to Lorenzo and Crutchlow. I mean, we are on low AI, so don't read too much into this, but it's just fun. I mean, as I say, it's a really difficult game, and in my career mode, I am, struggling at the back, struggling to qualify anything above last place. So it's not massively fun when you're just at the back. It's still a fun game to play, but obviously you want to be racing against other bikes. So this, for me, is a great experience. Come up to Crutchlow now, Morbidelli. Took that a bit keen, that corner, and Lorenzo comes back on us. Up the hill again, hard on the brakes for the corkscrew. We go on the inside of Lorenzo. Flick left, flick right. Holding off Lorenzo. In 8th place. That was a nice corner. We are gaining on Crutchlow. And are we going to get him on the inside? We have to go really hard on the brakes. Really hard. And we take 2. Crutchlow and Morbidelli. Wow, another great lap. Final lap. Ease off the accelerator for this sweeping left-hander and then hard on the brakes. Trying to keep the bike upright. Trying to keep it level. Cutting back in. Morbidelli is that. Oh, Rins goes underneath us. Hard again on the brakes. Quite a battle here. See him off. Sweeping, coming up to Vinales. Bit of a gap now to Vinales. And again, that's nicely done. Sorry, I wouldn't say I look like an expert, but I look like a bit of a liar saying I was struggling. Well, now I am struggling because we're off onto the dirt. That's going to give Crutchlow, Rins, a chance to get by us down into 7th. Oh, we misjudged that. We took our eye off the ball. And we're into the fence. What this will give me a chance to do is show off the rewind feature, which I don't mind in racing games. So we're going to rewind to the bottom of the corkscrew hill and pick it up again. So there we go, rewind feature if you do get stuck. So hard on the brakes, and Morbidelli and Lorenzo go back past us. Flick left, flick right. Oh, everybody's coming back to us. Going to struggle to hold on for a top 10 finish, I think, now. Is it any places to be made? Dual brakes on, hard, round the outside, sweeping around the outside. It's a chase to the finish, and we're not going to take it, but what a race. What a race that was. And Petrucci finishing 9th behind Franco Morbidelli. Looks like we got a penalty. I'd imagine it was for that early collision. But yes, I think we finished up higher than 9th, and the exclamation mark there may well indicate that that was a penalty. But really enjoyable race. So just being in and amongst the pack makes it a completely different game. Yeah, superb. I mean, this is like obviously a simulation. There's not many simulation games on the Switch. You got Isle of Man TT, which came out a few weeks back, and I really enjoyed that. That was an excellent simulator game. You've got things like V Rally, which is a good simulation of rallying games, but again, not without problems. And then you're into a lot more sort of arcadey racers. There's sort of a... You look at something like Gear Club, it's in between like a sim and an arcade racer. But we haven't really got a hardcore car racing game simulation-wise. So this is going to be, you know, one of the better simulation games. You can change stuff. You've got a helmet customization. So you've got career mode, historical challenges. You've got a few of those to do, which will be fun to play against. Local multiplayer. As I say, there's no online multiplayer, unfortunately. Just wondering if we could see the... maybe it's under time trials that we will have the leaderboards. But you can just play a straight up championship if you want. Now on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox version, on this screen here, the main menu screen, where the local multiplayer icon is on the Switch here, on there they've got the Moto E championships, the electric championships. I'm really hoping this comes over to the Switch because it'd be a nice touch to have something a bit different. But no news. If I get any news from the publishers or the developers, I will let you know in an update. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that could be coming in an update. I really hope it is. Be a bit gutted, especially, you know, it's £50 on the eShop, and you know, you'd want, for that price, you really want feature parity as much as possible. So it's a bit of a shame, but I will find out what's going on with that and let you know. But hopefully that's been a nice little playthrough for you of MotoGP19 if you're thinking of picking this one up. As you could tell there from the Laguna Seca race, hopefully you can see it plays really nicely. Graphical quality and frame rates up and down, I'd say. Some tracks are better than others. Some sort of times of day and weather effects are better than others in terms of frame rate. So I would say genuinely, most of the time it's okay. Certainly, you know, I'm not expecting graphics as good as PlayStation or Xbox. It's okay, the higher end of okay for me. It looks fine, and you know, the most important thing is it plays nicely. But as I say, this one is under review. Next week we'll be releasing a review, hopefully the sort of middle of the week at the latest, once I've played it through a little bit more. But hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe if you're new and you like these videos and want to see more MotoGP content. Just let me know below and I will do that for you. But until next time, I will catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.